Stop trying to make them understand. Seriously, shut your mouth and listen to me right now. Every single time you open your mouth to over-explain your personal decisions to average people, you probably think you are being highly logical. You think you are proving your intelligence and building a bridge of understanding. Let's look at the absolute clinical reality. You are not proving anything to anyone. You are initiating a massive, fatal cognitive bleed. Society has completely brainwashed you into believing that constant, transparent communication is the ultimate virtue of a good man. That is a massive biological trap designed to keep you permanently exhausted. Every time you translate your high-level ambitions into simple words for people who lack your vision, you are violently draining your own neurochemistry. By the end of this incredibly urgent breakdown, you will see exactly how your desperate need to be understood is actively destroying your central nervous system. And I will hand you the exact Stoic architecture the top 1% uses to seal their mental leaks and remain completely untouchable. Let us clinically dissect your brain when you start over-explaining. You make a highly calculated, strategic decision about your life, your business, or your relationships. Immediately, someone average questions you. Instead of letting your results speak, your primitive amygdala panics. It registers their confusion as social rejection, which your outdated survival software interprets as a lethal threat. You instantly drop your elite cognitive frame and start verbally spinning your wheels. You provide endless context, backstories, and logical data points. You are desperately trying to force an entirely different operating system to run your advanced software. It is biologically impossible. Your prefrontal cortex burns massive amounts of glucose trying to construct the perfect argument, and you receive absolutely nothing in return except a blank stare or a passive-aggressive comment. You just traded your highly valuable cognitive diamond for absolute garbage. Listen to me very carefully right now, because this specific neuroplastic window is closing faster than you can possibly realize. Every single time you exhaust yourself justifying your existence to average minds, you are actively wiring your brain for permanent submission. The biological damage compounds aggressively hour by hour. If you close this video right now, you are consciously choosing to remain a highly reactive, insecure slave to public opinion. Master this clinical truth today and instantly seal your massive cognitive leaks, or permanently surrender your mental autonomy to people who will never understand you anyway. The severe cost of seeking validation. Let us carefully measure your actual cognitive battery. Your brain operates on a mathematically finite amount of daily energy. High-level focus, deep work, and stoic emotional regulation require pristine neurochemical reserves. When you sit there and over-explain why you wake up early, why you don't drink alcohol, or why you are obsessively building your empire, you are redlining your physical engine for absolutely zero ROI. You are voluntarily bleeding your dopamine baseline dry. Notice exactly how your physical vessel feels after you finish a long, exhausting session of over-explaining yourself to a skeptic. You do not feel empowered. You do not feel like an alpha leader who just successfully educated the masses. You feel a heavy, agonizing crash. You feel hollow, drained, and deeply frustrated. This is not just a passing mood, it is a severe biological deficit. Your nervous system is punishing you for wasting vital survival resources on a completely useless social interaction. True elite Stoics understand this invisible drain with terrifying precision. They hoard their cognitive bandwidth like billionaires hoard cash. They view their internal peace as an impenetrable fortress, and every unnecessary explanation is a heavy iron gate left wide open. When you constantly justify your actions, you invite toxic intruders to rush in and steal your focus. By the end of the day, your fortress is completely looted. You have zero energy left to actually execute the grand plans you just spent 2 hours talking about. You sacrificed your actual future for a cheap, temporary illusion of social harmony. Why average people cannot process elite decisions? You must accept a brutally cold reality today. Average people do not want to understand your logic. They are fundamentally incapable of processing elite, high-risk, high-reward decisions. The majority of society operates on a baseline of severe fear and strict conformity. When they see you breaking the mold, isolating yourself to work, or cutting off toxic relationships, your actions violently trigger their own deepest insecurities. Your progress is a loud, flashing alarm reminding them of their own crushing mediocrity. When they ask you, why are you doing this? They are not genuinely asking for a masterclass in strategy. They are desperately looking for a flaw in your logic so they can pull you back down into the mud with them. When you take the bait and start over-explaining, you are stepping directly into their psychological trap. You are trying to install a massive, complex software update into a broken, outdated computer. It will crash every single time. It does not matter how articulate you are. It does not matter how many scientific facts or financial projections you present. They will always misinterpret your ambition as arrogance. They will always label your stoic discipline as selfishness. You are bleeding your vital energy trying to convince pigeons to understand how an eagle flies. It is biologically absurd. Stop insulting your own intelligence by pretending they have the capacity to comprehend your path. You will absolutely never hear this raw truth from modern lifestyle gurus. Mainstream pop psychology actively profits from your constant need to communicate and be vulnerable with everyone. They desperately want you highly reactive, permanently exhausted, and constantly seeking external validation. The framework of tactical mutism is a heavily guarded secret that the elite 1% understand intimately. They use absolute cold silence to dominate their industries and protect their pristine mental state. If you miss this exact psychological architecture today, you will remain highly profitable, incredibly weak social prey. Wake up and claim your cognitive power right now. How overtalking signals deep internal weakness. Answer this brutally honest question right now. Do you genuinely believe that having a rapid, logical answer for everything makes you look powerful? Modern society lies to you. They tell you that the loudest guy in the room, the one who constantly guides the narrative and explains his every move, is the alpha. This is pure biological comedy. Constant loudness and chronic over-explaining are the ultimate tells of severe internal weakness. In the animal kingdom, the prey animal makes constant noise to ensure it still belongs to the safety of the herd. The apex predator is completely, utterly silent. When you over-explain, you are broadcasting a massive signal to the entire room. I do not feel safe unless you approve of my choices. You are handing over your biological remote control. You are granting them the ultimate authority to judge your reality. That is the absolute peak of submission. A truly strong man, a modern Stoic, requires absolutely zero external permission to exist. He knows his exact massive value, and he does not need a committee to validate his blueprint. When someone questions his path, he does not launch into a defensive, terrified monologue. He simply looks them dead in the eye and offers a calm, indifferent silence. He is entirely comfortable being deeply misunderstood. If you cannot handle the agonizing discomfort of being judged falsely, you are incredibly fragile. You use your long, logical explanations as a transparent human shield to protect your fragile ego from the terrifying void of disapproval. You must aggressively upgrade your psychological software. The hidden manipulator trap in every argument. Let us clinically examine how dark manipulators actively weaponize your need to explain yourself. Toxic individuals study your fragile ego like a textbook. They see exactly how easily you panic when you are misunderstood, so they deploy a highly calculated psychological tactic, the innocent bait. They will casually drop a passive-aggressive comment or ask a slightly condescending question about your goals. They do not care about the answer. They simply want to watch your nervous system violently react. When you take the bait and launch into a 5-minute desperate explanation, they sit back and watch you burn your cognitive fuel. They intentionally misunderstand you, forcing you to explain it a second time, then a third time. You are literally performing for them like a highly trained circus animal. You are handing them absolute power over your neurochemistry. They are extracting your dopamine and spiking your cortisol strictly for their own entertainment. By over-explaining, you willingly validate their toxic manipulation. You mathematically prove that their cheap opinion dictates your mental state. You must become completely, biologically immune to this pathetic game. When a manipulator throws the bait, you must starve them of their neurochemical oxygen. You must offer absolute cold non-reaction. The mathematical cost of your deep insecurity is absolute. Your desperate need to be understood is actively destroying your future empire. Every desperate explanation you offer compounds your massive neurological debt. You will physically pay for this severe weakness with crippling anxiety, a permanently shattered attention span, and zero respect from your peers. You have exactly one highly critical minute left to reprogram this massive cognitive failure. If you ignore this blueprint, your mind will remain a heavily leaking prison forever. Listen very closely to these final instructions. The Stoic framework to seal your cognitive leaks. You must absolutely build your cognitive shield today. You need to rapidly cure your fragile ego and master the terrifying art of being profoundly misunderstood. The massive fear of being judged is a complete biological illusion. Being labeled as mysterious, arrogant, or weird by average people is actually a profound blessing. It rapidly filters highly toxic people out of your life and fiercely protects your limited cognitive bandwidth. Here is the exact clinical blueprint to reclaim your power. Tomorrow, when someone aggressively questions your decisions, your routine, or your goals, close your mouth entirely. Do not offer a weak apology. Do not launch into a detailed, logical presentation. Look them directly in the eyes, smile slightly, and say absolutely nothing. Or if you must speak, give them a dead-end phrase. This is the path I chose. Full stop. End of sentence. Notice that massive, terrifying spike of panic in your chest. Your weak brain will desperately want to fill the awkward silence. Let that weak, primal urge die right there in the dark. Endure the highly uncomfortable void. Let the other person panic entirely. Sit with your own terrifying power and realize that their lack of understanding absolutely cannot hurt you. Train your primitive amygdala to adapt to the silence. Your own complex mind is your ultimate sanctuary. You do not need their validation to execute your mission. Let your undeniable, massive results do all the screaming for you years from now. This is the absolute peak of elite Stoic fortitude. This is undeniable, total internal control. You dictate your exact neurochemical state. You preserve your energy for deep work, building a massive empire in the quiet shadows while the weak masses exhaust themselves talking. Subscribe to successfully master your own primal psychology. Hit the bell icon right now. Check the elite resources in the pinned description below. Protect your mind from the loud, average masses. Seal your cognitive leaks, master the brutal power of silence, and become fundamentally untouchable today.